Yeah, it said for some reason, for some reason, it keeps saying Twitter got an error. So we not on Twitter. We just on Facebook and YouTube. Big boy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So we got two listeners. Shout out to our first two listeners. We ain't even have you shared the room yet, big boy?
It's not showing. Oh, I see where you live now. Not yet. Hold on.
Oh, we got three listeners. Let's get it. I ain't even shared the room yet. That's what I'm talking about. How you feel about the Travis Hunter situation? It's Furious, your boy Furious and Big Boy. How you feel about the Travis Hunter situation, my brother?
Who you talking to me?
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's unfortunate. He's young. Uh, I think life gonna have to be his teacher at this point. I think it's kind of cruel. How society's coming at him in reference to his experience that he's experiencing with the young lady. I think the world we live in today is harsh and it's cold. So I think they're going about doing it is just it's hard. It's harsh, especially how the society we live in today. They're much softer and weaker. So uh, it's hard to deal with. But I would think that he will have some type of leader that will be able to guide him, strengthen him mentally, so he'll be able to deal with. Because it's
He
just
got Deion Sanders. I'm
yeah,
sure. I'm sure Deion Sanders. I know for a fact that Deion Sanders done had that talk with him. Come on, like Deion Sanders was prime time. He know about women that's trying to play you or groupies or
well,
he know Deion Sanders. I'm sure he wrote the book on disingenuous women. You feel what I'm
well,
saying?
at this point, it's nothing nobody gonna be able to do in reference to that woman, because life is just gonna have to be. He gonna have to figure that one out on his own. But what I'm saying, he gonna need somebody like Dion to teach him how to deal with society, with media, what people have to say, how cruel people are, and how to tune all that out. Now, for as him with this woman, I think as far as that situation is too far gone. Uh, he gonna have to see her for himself at this point. Now, hopefully, moving forward, if it doesn't work with her, then I mean, when he finally do wake up and see she's not the one, according to what she's showing everybody, then hopefully moving forward from that point, he'll be able to have a better scope on how to deal with being more aware of dealing with gold diggers or women that's trying to use you for your money and things of that nature. But at this point, as far as who he has now, it ain't nothing nobody could do about it because you know she got his nose wide open already. So, like he gonna have to bump his head and catch her down bad and get sick and tired of being sick and tired and saying enough is enough. I'm not putting up with this. You don't really love me or care for me. You just trying to use me, and then walk away. But I'm gonna hang up because my husband's on a podcast. You understand? I'll call you back later.
Yeah. Um. At first, I was hard on the little brother, uh, Travis Hunter, but I saw how social media been doing them the past couple of weeks, and
Yeah.
that's just harsh. That's just harsh. I'm not about to pretend like we all wasn't making bad, uh, bad genital decisions when we was in our 20s. You feel me? I'm not gonna act like we wasn't making bad decisions in our
We all,
20s.
we all made bad
Yeah, yeah.
decisions.
No man in this world was making great decisions in his 20s.
I mean, it's a lot of
With that part,
people
with
look
that
at
organ of our body.
that.
That's just not. But the difference is, he famous, and he's about to have $100 million contract, maybe even $200 million contract. You know, he about to have at least $200 million coming in within the next year. No way, Nike or Adidas. What he probably hold on, let me Nikes or Adidas. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this brother about to have some money, and one of the first one of the first brothers that said something to him was Godfrey. Remember Godfrey, the comedian, big boy.
Yeah,
You know Godfrey, the comedian, right?
yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, he the one that was he was one of the first people. He was one of the first people that said something to Travis Hunter about. I'm gonna put a picture up of Godfrey in case people don't know about him. But yeah, he was one of the first people that tweeted like, "Bro, why why you got to tell your girl to stand up? And what is she talking about? And what is she talking about? You ain't her type, and you wasn't originally her type, but she eventually no." What it is you eventually press Google. You eventually did what groupies do, and that's go to Google and see, you know, how much this guy is gonna be worth, and like, come on, man. I feel bad for the young brother because he gonna have to bump his head on this one. She over there, uh, sucking his life out. I'm sure. Like, I already know he gone. She making sure she's securing that bag. You hear me? He done delete. He done deleted the. He done deleted his social media. Like, she told him, like, yeah, you delete that social media. You know I love you. Like, that boy, yeah, man. He gonna have to bump his head, big boy. I ain't gonna act like I wasn't. We all been there. The only difference is he about to be a millionaire in like a couple of minutes. So that's the only difference. You there, big boy?
Yeah, I'm trying to help somebody get in the room.
All right, yeah, yeah. Yeah, do your thing, do your thing. But yeah, man, we about to get into the real topic. This was just a sidebar, man. I wanted to give a shout out to Travis Hunter. You know, we trying to lead him down the right path and not let the FAOCs get him, the female agents of chaos. We can't even let them get him. You know. Let's see. But man, what we really about to get into is your boy Busta Rhymes and what he said about foundational Black Americans. Give me a second, y'all. Jamaican and Latino and Jamaican and Caribbean people. You know. Hey, copyright 1017. Copyright, you know. No copyright, baby. This is free, free speech. Copyright 107. Tropical people, people that understand what that timing and that rhythm and that pocket feels like in a way unlike any other culture of people. You know, from the bass lines to the way we choose to place our words as people of the Caribbean and of the tropics. I think that it's just it's something you can't really define in words. It's a feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch Latino do the South Side of Merengue and you see Jamaican people, do they shit. It's kind of like something that goes hand in hand. And, it ain't a coincidence that in every urban community, Latino and blacks is there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you find in every urban community, Middle Eastern and black or Asian and black. You always see Latino and black. And I think we just so a part of each other's cultural significance, not only as tropical people, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the US ain't got no culture. This shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the US whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the US, but it's a mix up of all of our cultures. And in the urban community, the Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence. And we've always had, and we'll always will. And it's just been that way. So I've actually mixed up of all of our cultures. And in the urban community, the Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence. And we've always had, and we'll always will. And what dog he talking about? What he talking about? It's just been that way. So mix up of all of our cultures and in the urban community, the Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence. And we've always had, and we'll always will. And it's just been that. The Latino and the West Indian has had the greatest influence. Bro, what kind of weed? What weed is this man smoking, bro? What weed is this man? Hold on, I gotta hear this one more time. So I've actually been in all of our cultures and in the urban community, the Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence, and we've always had, and we'll always. In the urban community, the Latino and the West Indian has had the greatest influence. What is Doggy smoking right now, bruh? What is he talking about? Foundational Black Americans, we are the culture. What is he talking about? Big boy,
Yes, sir.
what is he talking about? What is Doggy talking about, bro? We are the culture. He said Latinos and West Indians have the greatest influence in the urban community. What is he talking about, bro?
He's lost his rabbit ass mind.
What is he talking about?
He's lost his Wait, hold on. Someone left a comment that Urban Exegesis Studio says that uh hip hop was started by Caribbean um Neurocrine and Black Americans in the Bronx. Uh, well, that's we won't say that Caribbeans, Puerto Ricans, people of that name. When he said prove him wrong, so why how about we do this? Put the link in the chat so we can get Urban Exegesis up, so we can have a conversation. Could you put the link in the chat? Uh, no, I understand. I understand how New York is a melting pot, and that there are a mixture uh, of Afro Latinos. Um, I understand the Caribbean islands is heavy when we talking about Jamaicans. When we are talking about Haitians, Bahamas, all of those different sects that come up and migrate to New York. I do understand that, Mike Womack, but what you're failing to understand when these brothers and sisters, because they are our brothers and sisters, even though they're not FBA, they are our family. But what happens is when they come to the Americas and take on American customs, the black culture, black people in America has created a culture. Even how hip hop started at nighttime when the street lights come on and everybody's outside hanging out with the fire hydrant going. A lot of that, I would say, would be probably considered American culture that Black Americans have been practicing for the longest, right? Partying, things of that nature has been going on. I know a couple people like the brother DJ. What's his name? He was of Jamaican descent.
Cool
Right?
hurt. Cool hurt.
He was of Jamaican descent. Um, but he was practicing African American customs. It's not like you went down to Jamaica and saw hip hop happening down there, or went to
Mm.
Puerto Rico and seen hip hop happening.
Wake it up.
It was happening in America, in NYC, in New York, by black, everybody being a part of the Black American culture. So that title will always be a culture that comes from Black Americans. Now, did these our brothers and sisters from Jamaica and other places play a part in the start? I would most definitely say yes. Like you said in the talk we were having last night, it's like being an ingredient that go in let's say gumbo. Me being down for stuff. So when you have a good gumbo, a gumbo can't go without the special roux it takes the gumbo roux it takes to make the gumbo. You have your onions and bell peppers and celery. You have all your meats, your sausage, shrimp, and your vegetables. If you put okra in it, the crab, shrimp, whatever people put in their gumbo, it's going to take all of those ingredients to make a great gumbo. So it would be idiotic for us to say that Jamaicans and our, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, anybody that was a part of the Black American experience that shared that with us in Americas via New York. It would be stupid to say not, but no, it's a
Hello.
it's a Black American tradition, man. Hip hop comes from Black America, bro, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Yeah, big boy. Yeah.
So
like I said,
from what Busta Rhymes just said, he's bugged out.
yeah,
Maybe to play that again.
yeah, I'm gonna play that again. But like I said last night, we not excluding our brothers from what hip hop is today, right? Shout out to our Jamaican brothers and our Puerto Rican brothers, man. Shout out to them, right? Because we appreciate uh what they did, what they added to the gumbo, right? They added the rice and certain flavors and stuff like that. But foundational Black Americans, we added flavors and ingredients too, and it was our pot. You feel me? It was our pot and our stove. You feel me? It was foundational Black American kids that was the one at the table writing raps, eating the cereal, you know what I mean, beating on the goddamn table while they mama tell them not to. And my cousins had routines, had dance routines to rap songs in the early 90s and late 80s. Like, that was foundational Black Americans. We was the ones that created it and cultivated it. You see what I'm saying? You know? Yeah, Biggie was a Jamaican. Biggie is he's one of my favorite MC. Uh he wouldn't be considered a foundational Black American. But guess what? Biggie wasn't rapping like a Jamaican. Biggie wasn't dressing like a Jamaican. He was his vernacular wasn't like a Jamaican. It was like a foundational Black American. So we cultivated it. Either way you play it. You see what I'm saying? Uh let me let me go back to this video real quick. Let me go back to this video. You still there? You still there, big boy? Big boy, you still there? Just want to see if I ain't lose you yet, man. It's Furious and Big Boy. Your boy Furious, POW, aka POW. My co-host, Big Boy. Big Boy. We're gonna go on with the video. He'll be back.
And it's just been that way. So I've actually, the Latino, whatever you want to call it, we still don't know what that culture is for the U.S., but it's a mix-up of all of our cultures in the urban there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you find in every urban community, you know, Middle Eastern and Black or Asian and Black. You always see Latino and Black. And I think we just so a part of each other's cultural significance, not only as tropical people, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the US ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the US, whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the US, but it's a mix up of all of our cultures in the urban community. The Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence, and we've always had, and we'll always will, and it's just been that way. So I've actually been influenced by the Latino community, which allows me to feel that much more comfortable putting my West Indian influence in my music, because they made me feel that much more proud to be like, yeah, my Lisa Jamaican, and I say it. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times, it ain't until you're made to feel comfortable giving it to the people, doing what you really are, what your influences are, your upbringing in the house, that you do it. So, being that I've been made to feel comfortable doing it, I think I also got to acknowledge and credit the Latinos for their influence on me, just the same way that I've been able to take that influence and give it back to the music. But a lot of that just has to do with just being around it, growing up a part of it, and just seeing that it worked. When I was able to do the shit and incorporate it little by little and seeing the shit work.
Man, shout out to Buster, man. I'm not about to crash out all the way on Buster, but I'm gonna keep it real for my foundational Black Americans. But shout out to Buster. He always been, he worked his way to be where he at. Far as respected as a lyricist and a pioneer of the game. But I would just have to tell Buster, if it came down to just Jamaicans, I love my Jamaicans, but if it came down to them uh buying your albums during them times in the late 90s, you wouldn't be where you at, Buster. The reason you at where you at, Buster, is because foundational Black Americans was buying your album. We the ones that say, hey, Buster, you know, you the man, you the greatest. One of my best homies, he always was down with Buster. He made sure he was buying his CDs when they came out. And I always respected Buster too. But
I
no,
mean,
Buster, man, you gotta keep it real. Go ahead, big boy.
no, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I mean, Buster wouldn't be who Buster is if it wasn't for uh, foundational Black Americans. I mean, let's just keep it treetop tall. If it wasn't for the Black American culture, he wouldn't be who he is because everything he know and everything he represent is Brooklyn, straight Brooklyn. I mean, he hasn't forgot his lineage that he come from of Jamaican descent. But I mean, come on, anytime we've ever seen him represent himself anywhere, whether we've seen him on BET, whether we've seen him on MTV, anywhere I've seen him do anything, I have anything to say. He's always a representative of New York, and unfortunately, New York is not Jamaica. It's the United States. So, I mean, if we just have to be honest, man. Hip hop is a Black American culture, and this is an example of how we have to hold on to things because everything that we've created always is stolen from us. From rock and roll with Elvis
Yeah,
Presley, he came
yeah,
in, it was stolen from us, right? When we had people like Little Richard, Ray Charles, and other rock and roll singers back from the 50s when they wore the perms with the suits and wore the suspenders, doing the twist, during that time, that rock and roll stemmed from us. Uh, um, Country music stemmed from us. Blues stemmed from us. Everything come from us, and it's always taken. So if we don't protect this right now, shout out to Tariq Nasheed, shout out to Lord Jamar and all the ones who are put in the fight to keep hip hop under the banner of part of our culture. Because if not, if 100 years from now, we already know they're planning to have Eminem as the face of hip hop, right? So, nah, man. So shout out fighting the try to protect our something that belongs to us. We should. We're at a point where we're tired of
yeah,
everything stripped from us.
yeah. One would say that is our problem, big boy. That we are too open, because let's say we would have been like, let's say we would have delineated to foundational Black Americans uh in the late 80s. We wouldn't even have this problem right now if we would have delineated then. And that's why delineation is so important, right? If we would have delineated in the 80s, it wouldn't even been no question of, well, uh, we created hip hop over here. No, we did this and over here. It wouldn't even be no question if we would have delineated. And that's why delineation is so important, because foundational Black Americans, we have a very rich culture. What our forefathers have done on this soil is exclusive to no one else on this earth. Far as being kidnapped, on boats, brung over here. We made our ancestors made this country a powerhouse based off of our blood, soil, and sweat. Right? I don't want to go too far into that, but we made America a powerhouse. We fought in every American war. We uh we survived and thrived through all the white flights and Jim Crows and redlinings, and we still here. We still here to this day, right? So we have a very and how about all of our what we added to this culture as far as music wise? We create, like Big Boy said, we created country music, rock and roll, and by the way, right now they're trying to ban Beyonce from getting awards in country music, even though her ancestors are the one that created country music. So when we say, you know, this is a good segue into what we wanted to talk about, delineation. So when we say we want to delineate, that's why. That's why we need to delineate. So we can stop getting everything stolen from us. Stop getting everything stolen from us. All right? Everything is for sale when it comes to foundational Black Americans. You got people selling their masters. You got people selling their masters like Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, selling their masters. We are basically selling our culture and getting our culture stolen from us. You feel what I'm saying? So we can't.
Hey,
Go ahead, Big Boy. Go ahead.
we need to try to get the link in here because I see some. We shout out to everyone in the building. I think we got 21 listeners. Shout out to the 21 listeners and ears that we have some interesting perspective coming from. I see niggas, Afro, Dane, Daw. I see she's leaving some comments. We have some interesting perspective, and it would be good if we can post a link where we can get some people to come in and be a part of this dialogue. So, who else we have in here? Uh, yeah, so let's get to it, man. Shout out to the 21 listeners. We appreciate you guys being a part of this bill. Uh, look for more like this. But sure. I agree with you 100% with this POW. I think that we have to delineate and have to. I mean, we have to be able to create a foundation for the future for our young. And if everything keep being stolen, what history will be left for us other than horrible things? We have such a great history. I don't know, man. I'm just so stuck on everything that's been created by us has been stolen. Even during slavery, a lot of things that was patent and they take claim from it come from us. Even as slaves, when slaves would create inventions and things of that nature, because you were owned by your master, they will be able to go and patent all of these different discoveries, right? And they take hold to it. So shout out to the FBA, man, that's taking this and looking at this picture. And I'm gonna stop here and let you continue because you're cooking right now, brother. But looking at Fat Joe and his baby picture, if you look at that grade of hair there, if you look at that grade of hair there, man, he been getting a pass for too long. He been getting a pass too long. Uh, he looked like a white boy. Let's just be honest, a Spaniard white boy. So I'm gonna leave it there. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Dog. So yeah. Didn't you say you seen something last night about him classifying himself as white? Didn't we watch a video of that? Yeah, I know we watched a video of that. But hold on, let me play the last bit of this real quick. Give me 1 second.
didn't, create hip hop. It was actually Black people and Puerto Rican people. It's interesting. That was the first time that I had ever heard that. My whole life, when I was growing up, it was Black people that created hip hop. It's interesting how all of a sudden now this narrative is changing.
Hey, shout out to Sabby Sabs. Make sure y'all go download and subscribe to Sabby Sabs on YouTube.
But he says things that piss people off. And recently, he said something else that is pissing people off. And I want to bring up this clip here. Thank you, author. He said that delineation is hurting his pockets. So we're going to play this clip here fully once, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to pause in between because there's something that happened during this clip that I think a lot of people are not talking about on social media. Let's get into it.
These rumors were made by radical Black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a Black guy that ain't down with them. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say their name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And that shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? No, man. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro.
Couple things. And Nikki World already called it out. Radical. Don't forget Fat Joe supported Kamala. Radical Black racists is what he called them. Radical. Right. So a couple of things. Forget Fat Joe supported this first part.
These rumors were made by radical Black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a Black guy that ain't down with them. Right.
So he's talking about FBA, Foundational Black Americans, which is not an organization, but it is a lineage, a status, right? So that's who he's talking about. Now, this is coming off of the conversation about Kamala, who created hip hop. So just to explain that once again, like I said, when I grew up and the way that I grew up and I was raised, a couple of things. I was taught that Black Americans created hip hop. I had never heard this story that is coming around the way that Fat Joe and some others are saying, no, it was Black Americans and it was also Puerto Ricans that created hip hop. I don't know where this came from, but I was never taught this. So part of his anger is directed towards that because he received pushback when he made that statement. And you can say that you disagree. If he doesn't agree with FBA, that's fine. He can disagree. But Fat Joe's, his attitude and just how comfortable he is with the way that he talks to the Black community is very problematic for me. Fat Joe's not Black, for people who are not aware. Fat Joe's a rapper. He was buddy, like I think it was him and Big Pun and all that stuff back in the 90s. I haven't heard a Fat Joe song recently in probably a long time. But it's very clear to me that I think Fat Joe has become a little bit too comfortable. So this part,
right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
That part right there. So again, he doesn't have to agree with FBA. I'm not here to say he can't respond. But this part right here really struck me with a chord. First of all, listen up, Joe. You have become very rich off of appropriating Black culture. That's your career. That's Fat Joe's career. You became very rich off of that. And I know people come to me and say, oh, well, he grew up in a neighborhood with Black people and da-da-da and all that kind of stuff. So? And? I don't care. That part right there, when he said broke, they're a bunch of broke. First of all, how does he know that they're broke? And even if they are broke, so what? Why is class being brought into this now? So if you're broke, you can't have criticism? If you're broke, you can't criticize? Everybody see why I have a problem with a lot of these celebrities? Even the ones that say, oh yeah, we're cool, we're down with the cause or the action and da-da-da. This is why I have a problem with a lot of these celebrities. Because they'll say those things, and in the moment, things don't go their way, or you push back against them. Next thing you know, you're broke. So what? They show you who they really are. So he's like just a bunch of broke. So that's classism. This part.
I'm just keeping it a buck. And that shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. Yo, bro. These rumors.
The other thing.
Yo. So
He's just too comfortable, bro.
yeah. So shout out to the 35 listeners. She was making some good points, and I didn't even know she was gonna say that. Shout out to Sabby Sabs. Make sure y'all subscribe to her. She got 159,000 subscribers on YouTube. SABBY space SABS. But yeah, she was dropping it down, brother. She was dropping it down. And if Fat Joe had to depend on Puerto Rican people to make him famous or to buy his album, he wouldn't be where he at. Because if you look up Jennifer Lopez, she did a Spanish album. And her Spanish album basically flopped compared to her American album. So, you know, you shouldn't be downplaying foundational Black Americans or Americans, period, right? Especially if you expect Fat Joe got an album out right now. That's how stupid he is. He got an album out right now, and he gonna disparage and shade foundational Black Americans. Right when he got an album, he just dropped the album like a couple days ago. I don't even want to. I shouldn't even shouted that out because please don't play his album or give him no streams. Please don't. All right, we don't want to give him no stream. He's I don't even want to say what he is right now because I don't want to get flagged. But
you know what I think
it is.
And about him. Sorry for cutting you off too, brother.
No, you good. I'm doing something. Go ahead.
In reference to him not being concerned about just dropping an album, it's pretty much no different than these Democrats and how they don't have respect for foundational Black Americans as well, because they feel we lost in the sauce. They feel that we're not going to do our due diligence when it comes to research. They think we're not intelligent enough. They think we're not aware of the psychological manipulation, the psychological mind games that's being played. They think all we are is just dumb, stupid Negroes. That's the same as the Democrats saying, "Oh, you're not Democrat if you don't vote for me. I mean, you're not black if you don't vote for me." Um, when they comfortable enough to come and say, "Oh, I keep my hot sauce in my purse," or we'll have someone that's not a foundational Black American comfortable enough to come and say, "Oh, well, I wash my greens in the bathtub." So they don't think we could think past go.
Mm-hmm.
So the same guy that we just had this little picture of, you could tell he's a Spaniard. He's not even a part of who we are. He's comfortable with doing what he did, whatever them broke niggas are, and how loosely he could use the term nigga and stuff. But we have to hold ourselves accountable as well, because we don't take it upon ourselves to do the due diligence. We don't put our foot down, and we don't set a standard for ourselves and say we're
No,
going.
we don't. No, we don't. I gotta let me say something real quick. I don't want to cut you off, but
You
we
got it.
gotta. I gotta start calling these new. I love my New York people. Me and my wife, we just visited to New York, man. I love New York culture, New York rap. I love New York stuff, but I be seeing too many New York brothers allowing these people like Fat Joe, who kind of, yeah, he said he Latino, but he kind of ambiguous, and we already seen the video where he said he was white. So no, man, I gotta, you know, I gotta call my New York brothers to the forefront. Like, stop allowing these people to use the N word. You gotta put that 400 years of energy on anybody who used that word. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, my bad. I didn't want to cut you off, brother. My bad. You there, big boy?
So I'm looking at some of the comments right now. I see what one was read that say, "I would like to see these two brothers in New York." Listen, we're not unaware of the fact that New York is a melting pot. You have a bunch of different group of people that's living in one city amongst each other, all around each other. We get it, we understand, but still, it's about standards and standards that you set. And diversity is a beautiful thing. So we're not, and listen, we still see Jamaicans, even though we FBA, we still see our Haitians, Jamaicans, people from the Bahamas. We see those as our brothers and sisters as well, right? You're going to see a brother that's going to be on the panel with us a lot if you guys continue to follow us, which we hope you do. He's of Haitian descent, right? But all we're saying is we have to set standards. Standards have to be set, because if you don't set standards, man, things are going to allow to happen. So all we're saying is Foundation of Black Americans, hold up, put some respect on Black American culture. That's all we saying, man. We not trying to, be disrespectful to our brothers and sisters of the. I mean, when our ancestors came over here on the slave ship, some got dropped off in Haiti, some got dropped off in Jamaica. Um, but we all family. We all the same, but we have different cultures, right? And we just got to respect each other's culture, right? That's all we saying, man. So we understand that New York is it is the most diverse city in the United States, if you ask me. But still, you just got to put some respect on it, man. And Fat Joe is out of line. Fat Joe is totally out of line. He out of place. He out of pocket, and he need to be put in check. So shout out to Lord Jamar. Shout out to Tyreek Nasheed and all the other people that's stepping up and speaking out on his top, putting him in the place he need to be put in. That's all. That's all we saying.
Yeah, yeah, and make
Right
no
quick,
mistake.
right quick. Let me say this right quick. I promise. Also, what you need to know about Fat Joe, he's talking all of this, Latino, that he don't even identify as Latino. I wish I had the clip to share with you. Shout out to Harlem Legend. If you guys go look at Harlem Legend a couple nights ago, he did a show in reference to this, where he showed where he's registered as white. So you're talking all of this Latino, this and Latino that, but you identify as white, homie. So I just wanted to end with that. POW, you got it, brother.
Yeah. And make no mistake about it, man. Ain't no disrespect to New York is the mecca of hip hop. Come on, man. That's the mecca of hip hop. What's that one movie? Crush Groove, and the movie before that, with the graffiti, but whatever, yeah. New York is the mecca of hip hop, man. It's no disrespect, but and Math Hoffa, he don't represent every brother from New York, but you know, and I get it. People from New York and LA, there's a certain relationship with the Hispanic and Latinos because y'all grew up with them, next to y'all. We ain't grow up with them next to us like that. You feel what I'm saying? So those passes that y'all be throwing out, we don't understand that. You see what I'm saying? We don't understand the passes. When he said the N-word, Math Hoffa energy should have changed. And that's what we be talking about when we be talking about tethers also. Because when you look deep, Math Hoffa ain't a foundational Black American. Now, I can go out on a limb and say that a foundational Black American would have stood on business. I can go out on a limb and say that the FBA would have stood on business. Nah, bro. But Matt Halford is they say he's from the West Indies or Bahamas. I don't know where, I don't know. Still my brother, but sometimes that lineage, there is a disconnect. There's an elephant in the room that needs to be addressed so we can move forward. All right. You got anything else to say, big boy? And I put Sabby Sabs, I put her video link in the chat so y'all can subscribe to her. I was gonna play a little bit more of her video to see what she had to say. You got something else to say, big boy?
No, I'm actually just intrigued. I'm just looking at some of the comments. Yeah, I'm just checking out the checking out. We're gonna start getting you guys up sometime, sharing the link with you guys so you can be a part of the build. I see a lot of interesting perspective. That's all. I'm just reading the comments at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, let's get it
I
though.
can't see the comments though. You looking at the comments on Facebook or YouTube?
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. Let
Oh.
me see.
Okay.
I
So,
thought I did. Let me
huh?
put the link in the chat. Let me put the link in the chat so I can see
Yeah.
if somebody might want to come up.
Yeah. Do that. Yes, sir. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I'm sure you are. It's one of the most favorite days of the year. If you ask a lot of people, this would be their favorite day. Happy Hanukkah to. I hope all is well. Eminem sold the most records. So what? So what? He sold the most records, Chief. Come on, man. Shaky Pete. Well, Chief, it's not about people joining with FBA. It's nothing to join. But basically, FBA is just who you are. Foundational. Anybody that's from the Americas that come from a product who parents, who ancestors were slaves, they will be considered foundational Black Americans or American descendants of slaves, right? I don't know why people in society are looking at FBAs like it's some type of organization or some type of group or gang. If your family come from one of these plantations up on in the United States, if you have a history from straight United States from coming from across from the Africas, or if you were here before as one of the indigenous, then you're a foundational Black American, right? That's all FBA means. I think this thing is being taken out of context because a title has been put together to recognize the people who come here and come from a lineage of people who ancestors were enslaved or originally on this land. That's all FBA is. So joining this and that is, that's what white society, white America do. You know, they want to group you like that and make you this bad group of people that doing this. Nah, man, that's not what FBA is.
Yes, sir.
We're just using the N word. And I know people are going to say, oh,
And I didn't know she was gonna say this. I didn't even know she was gonna
Right quick,
do it.
right quick. Let me say this:
perhaps it.
when it comes to
Oh,
you can't join in. You have to be born in. It's in your DNA. It's what you come from. So if you have an ancestor that probably come from a plantation, then you're a foundational Black American. That's all.
forefathers, like you said, indigenous, or if you could trace your forefathers back, and you're a foundation of Black America. That's it.
Right.
It's not with the ER, it's with the A at the end. Oh, yeah, I get it. I understand that. Fat Joe's not Black. I remember when Jay-Z was on Oprah's show. This is probably one of the only things I agree with Oprah on. And that was the use of the N word. And Jay-Z told Oprah, he said, well, we changed the word and put an A at the end of it to take the power back from the word. Okay. What other group uses a racial slur as a term of endearment? Because you see, I never liked the N word. I still don't like it. I'm Black and I don't call people the N word. But you got Fat Joe out here just throwing out the N word in front of another Black guy. He's a part of the hip hop industry. And I always ask, like, how come nobody in hip hop, why aren't they checking him on this? Why y'all let Fat Joe just casually just use the word over and over? And people say, you don't understand, in New York, it's like this. In New York, it's like that. I lived in New York. And I'll tell you, none of my friends that are not Black use the N word or feel that they could use the N word, even with an A. The reason why Fat Joe feels so comfortable is because he's been allowed to be comfortable. Nobody in his space pushing back on him for the rhetoric and the things that he's using. Now, fans have said they had a problem with it. I'll show you that in just a second. Fans have said to Fat Joe, stop using the N word. You're not Black. He doubled down. I want to show you that right here. He doubled down. This is the thing that I think a lot of people are seeing with this. I mean, he's a little too comfortable. Fat Joe responds to criticism of his use of the N word. See, this was 2022. It's not like this wasn't an issue before. And he went on to say, They said that Fat Joe, who is of Puerto Rican descent, is under scrutiny once again. The South Bronx rapper says that he will continue to say the N-word despite some fans asking him not to. So I'm going to say this again. So after there were people from the Black community that were his fans that asked him to stop using the word, he doubled down and said he's going to continue to use it. Was that Fat Joe having respect for the Black community? Why aren't any of the other rappers around him in hip hop, why aren't they pushed back on that? He got too comfortable. It went on to say here, first of all, my projects is 90%. I'll give you 80% Black still. My grandmother's projects is 99.9% Black, to be clear. So I'm Spanish. I knew I was Latino, but the whole time I thought I was Black anyway. Pause. He knew he was Latino, but the whole time he thought he was Black anyway. No, that's bullshit. So I've always had a problem with that. And that's not going to change. Because let me tell you what Fat Joe can do. You see, when Fat Joe wants to, while he's just throwing around the N-word and all that kind of stuff, I don't care if it's New York or not. I got a problem with it. I'm Black. I don't use the N-word. My parents don't use the N-word. I wasn't raised that way, and I would definitely not raise my children that way. As I said before, no other racial group uses the racial slur as a term of endearment. So my issue with Fat Joe is that when he wants to put that aside, he can. If he's filling out a form and he wants to check white, he can. This is what a lot of people don't understand. And I've seen this happen. And I've had classmates that have explained this to me very specifically. These are the items that are on the list of the form. If I want to, yeah, well, sometimes I check white, sometimes I check this. The struggle is not the same. And people will say, well, he's Puerto Rican and Puerto Ricans are mixed, but he can still check white.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing about white supremacy, right? White supremacy has the luxury and the advantage to the army of white supremacy will always be able to get more people every day because a lot of these Latin and Arabic and sometimes even a lot of times even biracial, they can choose if they want to join white supremacy just from the stroke of a pen, right? But when it comes to Black people, we getting killed, we going to prison, high in abortions, you know, on and so forth, right? So if we was to have some type of infantry or whatever, right, our stuff is continually depleting every day. But white supremacy every day, they getting more people every day just from the stroke of a pen, right? So I think that was very interesting. You got something to say, big boy?
Were you able to figure out how to put the link up in the chat?
Yeah, I'm about to do it right now. I thought I already did it. Let me check.
Link in the chat. Welcome to Death Before Bondage, family. We appreciate you guys. Uh, Give me a second, guys. Let me try to put this link in the chat for you guys. Let's see if I can do it. Give me a second. Bear with me. Okay. Give me a second. Hold on.
We proved that emphatically in the film. Now, going back to Fat Joe, Fat Joe felt a certain way about this. The movie came out. It was just all over the place. People were buzzing about it. And boy, he was pissed off. People have been taking shots. Pete Rock, who's Caribbean, he's been taking his little shots back and forth because we've been telling him, no, y'all Jamaicans, we didn't get hip hop from you. No, we didn't. We're going to stop these lies. And with Fat Joe, remember, he's supposed to be the hip hop ambassador. So he's supposed to whip all of us in shape and get us to go along with the program. That's why the political establishment, they were parading him around. And now that we as foundational Black Americans, we made the Democrat Party crash and burn, they done went back to Fat Joe like, damn it, you're useless. They done went to him like, okay, we don't really need you. You can't help us win elections. And the Negroes ain't really listening to you like that. What do we need you for? Why are we building you up like this? So Fat Joe sounded like he just went scorched earth. He was on Math Hoffa's show. And from what I understand, Math Hoffa, Math, is a Caribbean gentleman. That's okay, that's fine. But just putting everything in context. And Fat Joe was there just taking shots at us, boy. He was like, yeah, the FBAs, the bunch of broke niggas, and yeah, foundational Black authority or whatever. I don't know if that was a shot at Jason Black. I don't know, but he was, and yeah, and with their leader, yeah, he talking about some leader. I guess he was taking a shot at me, which I'm not a leader of anything. Yeah, they just hate everybody. They hate everybody who ain't them. Yeah, they hate everybody who ain't them. They broke and all. Okay, all right, but he just went real disrespectful. And some of those dudes in there kind of cockeying and kikiing, and people are like, okay, what's up with them? Yeah, to put it in context, they're Caribbean. So they have more of a camaraderie with Fat Joe than us. But I just want y'all to understand a lot of Caribbeans, they have more of a camaraderie with their fellow immigrants, like the Latinos, because Puerto Rico that's Caribbean too.
Hey,
You see.
you.
But
Yo.
So everyone that's in the chat, if you see when you look in the chat, when you see ATV, I just click the link in there. Try clicking that link to see if you guys can get in, just to make sure we have this down pat. We're going to go for maybe 15, 20 more minutes. We would love to get some of you guys up to come up and give some perspective. Speak your piece. Just introduce yourself to get to know you. Please come up if you can. I'm going to post it in the chat a couple more times. But look for the red avatar that says ATV. And that's the link. Click the link and come up and share with us. Spend some time with us. Let's get some dialogue going. Go ahead. I just want to let people know I'm posting the chat. I'm posting the link in the chat.
All right, bet. And this is the brother Tariq Nasheed, by the way. FBA is not an organization. It's a lineage.
he went real disrespectful. And one thing people try to do, in fact, Joe tried to do this, they try to sit here and act like they deliberately try to remix our lineage into some kind of four-wall group. Now, family, when they do this, that's a very deliberate thing. That's for them to cover their asses when they attack our lineage. I want y'all to be very clear, FBA family, because somebody called the other day asking about how can we keep explaining that we're a lineage and people still have questions. They're playing dumb, ladies and gentlemen. I keep telling y'all, people are playing dumb. Fat Joe does what a lot of the white supremacists does when, like what they do when they talk about Black Lives Matter. Remember, when the white supremacists wanted to attack Black people as a group, they would use Black Lives Matter as a proxy. They would just label everybody Black Lives Matter. So you could, the narrative was, we're not attacking people based on race, we're attacking this radical organization. But when you talk about Black Lives Matter, you're just saying everybody's Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is just 3 women. That's what officially, that's what Black Lives Matter is 3 women, but they would attack every Black person and just call them Black Lives Matter. I remember being on Fox News one time, and under the thing on screen, they labeled me a Black Lives Matter leader. I said, man, if y'all don't take that bullshit out of here, I'm not no Black Lives Matter leader. I ain't got nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. But that was a code term for all Black people. Same thing when people try to say foundational Black Americans or FBA is a group or a cult. That's them trying to create a proxy to attack all of us. They're attacking 43 million people. When they start talking about, oh, the FBA ain't fit, oh, they ain't nothing, that cult ain't this. Look, they know what they're doing. They're not dumb. They're attacking all of us when they do that. And there's a few reasons why they do it. When they create a fake 4-wall organization, they understand criticizing a lineage directly, you're going to get backlash because you're showing racial animus. You're going to show that's bigotry by just saying, hey, this lineage ain't worth a damn, to say that, which they say among themselves, by the way.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Say that to themselves, and they say it on Clubhouse when they are anonymous. This is what they say at home. Let's be real. When the Puerto Ricans are at home, hey, don't let those Morenos in the house. Don't let them in there. Don't be around. Don't you date the blacks. Mera la raza. You understand? So when they start talking about foundational Black Americans and trying to reframe it as an organization with a hierarchical structure, they can deflect attention away from the fact that they're targeting an ethnic group. All right? Just be very clear. They're targeting the ethnic group, and they're trying to cover their tracks by pretending they're targeting some type of little 4-wall organization. Another reason why they do that, they try to demonize this movement of delineation as a monolithic entity by treating foundational Black Americans as an organization. They can just portray individuals identifying as a foundational Black American, part of some kind of coordinated group with a single agenda. You understand? And, that simplifies a lot of the complex discussions that we have about the cultural, social, and historic contributions of foundational Black Americans. You see? And another thing they want to do, because we have taken control of the narrative, this is their weak, feeble attempt of trying to reframe the narrative and take control of it through a bunch of straw man arguments. Because see, we've made a power move by delineating. We have said collectively, based on our lineage, we're not going to go some minority coalition. We're not people of color. We're foundational Black Americans. We're not African Americans. We're not lost Africans. We don't want everybody tacking themselves onto us, all right? We are our own ethnic group, and we have certain things that's significant and pertinent to our lineage, and we kind of want to focus on that right now.
Damn.
Family, do y'all know how devastating that is to all of these? Because people leech on foundational Black Americans. They've been leeching off of us left and damn right and playing a Jedi mind trick on us, talking about we ain't got no culture. They're the ones who don't have no damn culture, if you want to be honest, because we ain't belly aching about them. These people stay whining about us and whining about what we're doing and whining about us letting them hold their own nuts. Because the thing is, we're not trying to tear anybody down. We're just saying, hey, fight your own battle. Oh, how could you do this to us? You niggas hate us because I'm not fighting your battles for you. We hate you because we're not fighting your battles. Look at this sense of entitlement. Yeah, we're not doing that no more. We've done that way too long. We've been fighting everybody's battles, and what has that gotten us? We're fighting our own damn battles right now. We sit here fighting for everybody and welcome everybody in and cape for them, and we get all bloodied and bruised, and they step over us and say, hey, yeah, we did this 50-50. So a lot of people felt very disrespected by Fat Joe saying that. Yeah. And here's the thing. Fat Joe was running around talking about, yeah, we ain't from the Bronx, and you ain't from the Bronx, and you ain't from New York. Listen, in the movie Microphone Check, we got all the pioneers who are from New York. They said, ladies and gentlemen, if you've seen watch the film now. It's on Amazon Prime. You can stream it right now. Go to microphonecheck.com. Family, all of the pioneers said from their own mouths, the Puerto Ricans just weren't there. They weren't there. They came later. Now, how come you're not getting mad at them? He is mad at them. And again, they're using a fake make-believe group as a proxy because he really has an issue with them telling the truth. A lot of these Puerto Rican cats really are upset with the pioneers for telling the truth. They feel a certain way about that. Let me get everybody to chime in. Star David, hop in, man. You're doing a lot of emojis over there. What's happening, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
Not every Black American or Black American who have lineage to the ancestors who don't consider themselves FBA.
Still FBA though.
Yeah, but they don't use that term. And then if someone was to talk about FBA, they wouldn't take offense to it.
Yeah, he's talking about, because FBA is a lineage. When we mention FBA, we're talking about Black people who are non-immigrants.
Oh, hey.
That's all we're talking about. FBA doesn't mean people who follow me. That's a made-up name.
I mean, to some people, to a lot of people, yes, because, there's people who have non-immigrant background who won't use that term.
But they're still foundational Black Americans, just like there's people with non-immigrant backgrounds who don't use African American, but they get labeled African American. Most elderly Black people, they don't like to use the term African American. My grandmother never used the term African American because that was a term that was brought to us in 1988 by the Democrats and Jesse Jackson.
Right.
When you look at history books now, they say Frederick Douglass was an African American, Malcolm X was an African American, Rosa Parks was an African American. None of these people identified as African American. This was something that was cooked up at a white think tank, and they brought it to us to make us comparable to immigrants. So we have self-identified. Now, everybody from the lineage, they might not say the same name all at once, but a significant number of us understand what the lineage is. And when we speak on the lineage, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about 43 million people. Those who are foundational Black Americans, whether they acknowledge it or not, just like the LGBT community. They sit here and call us cisgendered. I'm not no cis, I don't know what the hell that is, but they label us that. And they put it on documents too. They arbitrarily give certain people certain names, even though we may or may not agree with it. When we talk about foundational Black Americans, we are talking about a lineage, whether or not people of that lineage utilizes that term or not. When we start talking about things within a political sphere, in a cultural sphere, and we want to delineate, that's a term that many of us choose to use, and we're talking about 43 million people. And that's who Fat Joe is insulting. He's not insulting some make-believe group. He's insulting.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't take offense to it, because the only ones who I see take offense to it is ones who like your real hardcore followers who
that's not true. Family.
It is, because I don't take offense to it. I'm Black American.
Hey, sir, sound like you got a little accent. Also, sir, listen, Fat Joe came out to LA in the 90s. There was a place called The Good Life where people would, Fat Joe got booed out here, dude. They weren't with Fat Joe. Fat Joe, he offended the people out here and they booed him out of here, dude. So yeah, people have been kind of on his bumper for years. Yeah, it ain't just people from our lineage who use the term FBA. A lot of us from the lineage, a lot of people have kind of had issues with the dude, especially a lot of this 50-50 hip hop. A lot of people had an issue with that. You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah, so let me Big Boy, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so man, we talking about delineating, you paying respects to your ancestors, because it was our ancestors that had to go through not only slavery but Jim Crow, where it was over 4,000 Black people lynched on trees, right? So we fought in every war. We was enslaved. Like, this is it ain't just about oppression. How about all the inventions that, it used to be a little saying that only thing that the oppressor created was the patent office, so he could steal all of our inventions. Like, everything that we have put to this culture, like, bro, that's a very rich culture to be proud of, and to cultivate, and to make sure we pass it down to generation to generation. Because right now, it looks like they trying to erase us. When you look at critical race theory, they trying to erase us in the school books, right? Academia, quote unquote. They trying to whenever you see a movie about a foundational Black American, you see a British actor, Fred Hampton, being played, and I like that movie, right? I like that movie. Harriet Tubman, she's being played by Cynthia Evira, whatever, and Fred Hampton being played by Daniel Kaluuya, whatever. I'm probably messing their names up, but neither one of them is foundational Black American. So you got to ask yourself, what is going on? Then you look in the music industry and you see people like Michael Jackson selling half of his estate, Irv Gotti selling his stuff, his masters. Some of our greats selling their masters to those other people. Not those people, but the other people. We know them. Them other people that control everything and be. You know what I mean?
Right.
That Kanye and Kyrie. We ain't gonna say their name because we don't want no flags. But those people, So yeah, man.
People.
Go ahead, big boy. You wanna get in there?
No, I'm just backing you up, man, because I'm glad you brought up the points that you're bringing out, because about the erasing of the history. I'm sure we all aware. Just last year was a couple of things passed in the state of Florida, which we already know about the governor there. They passed where even in reference to the history of race riots and stuff like Rosewood and Black Wall Street that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Those riots that happened, they're even marking in history that those were it was the blacks reasoning for those riots. So they're not even, they taking all accountability away from themselves. There's a lot of things happening in Texas as well that they're taking out of the history books. So they're trying to erase history because they don't want to take accountability in this newer generation of white America is seeing how barbaric and how evil their ancestors are. So they're trying to hide that history and wipe it out and take it away. So I'm glad that you brought that up about how they're trying to erase and change history because Florida and Texas for sure, and a lot of these Republican states are already working on, with this taking critical race theory out and changing a lot of history. Because man, I was floored, bro, when I seen what they were doing when I read that article in reference to Florida, blaming black people for the race riots. Knowing that white men actually created a narrative about black men that we can't control ourselves around white women, and every time if you looked at a white woman too hard, the guy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, tripped and bumped into a lady on the elevator, and it started what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think the same thing, something similar happened in Rosewood with the white woman. They man, come on, they created the movie Birth of a Nation, the first Birth of a Nation, not the new one that came out some 5 years ago, but the old Birth of a Nation, where they actually debuted the movie in the White House that portrayed black men as animals that can't control themselves around white women. Like they portray the image where we get uncontrollable and can't control ourselves around white women. So now that all of this history and stuff is just right before your eyes, shout out to new technology. They trying to erase a lot of it, man. So I'm glad you brought that out.
Yeah, man, they trying to erase our history, man. And you just gotta read the writing on the wall of what's going on, you know. And that's why delineating is very important, right? Uh and it's our job to talk about these things also. But look, y'all, we're not gonna be on here much longer. Shout out to my brother Big Boy. I put his thing up. He got his channel. You got your channel, right, Big Boy? Big
Yes,
Boy
I
on
do
mute.
have my channel. I'm gonna start posting some things, and we're gonna go back and forth from here and there. It's called Live with BB225. Uh,
All right, better up.
Live with BB225. But yeah, we'll be back and forth, man. Appreciate everybody that came through and shared with us in the comments. Appreciate the bill. And hopefully you guys are gonna see a lot more of us on these YouTube streets and these Facebook streets. Coming from
Yeah,
the world,
and Twitter, and Twitter.
Twitter.
We also streaming on Twitter too.
We've been doing this for a minute on some other sites, but we're trying to just come out here and expand and build with others. So we appreciate you guys. Hopefully you'll be with us on some more things, some more bills that we talk about. But basically, POW and I are deaf before bondage. Basically, we're just advocates to bring change in the community where we once were a negative asset. We want to be a positive asset. If it's no more than just having great conversations and talking about solutions that we could do to bring change to the black family. So that's all we about, the black nuclear family, and just trying to set standards that'll better us as a whole. So the kids, the grandkids in the future won't have to go through a lot of things that we've had to go through and see things from a different perspective and seeing things from a different lens, right? Why be a dog chasing its tail, doing the same thing over and over, but expecting to change? So we just like to have interesting conversations that challenge the thought process, think outside the box and from what we've been programmed to think, and just have good bills. So hopefully you guys will be joining us more. Because trust me, we deep dive, we go deep, and we have some real interesting conversations. So we here for it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the audience. Shout out to both of our black queens. You know,
Salute.
uh, shout out to everybody. This is death before bondage. Trying to trying to wake our people up out the matrix because we all sleep, including and I'm not immune or exclusive to that sleep or that sickness. So we just gotta wake our people out of slumber because right now we in the valley of the dry bones, and we got to get out of there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So shout out to my co-host Big Boy. This is Furious, aka POW, prisoner of war, and we gonna hit y'all consistently. We out of here.
Peace.